Now you just can't leave.
All right, welcome back to the Reverse Mush podcast. Harry Mack here, as always, with my co-host Ross. Very, very special guest this week, friend of the program, recurring guest, fresh off a second round inverted triangle victory in December, now 9-1, UFC lightweight, the Monkey King, Jordan Leavitt. Jordan, how are we, brother? Thank you for hopping on with us.
Well, I'm always happy to see you guys. I'm doing pretty good. No complaints.
Seriously, things could certainly be worse right now.
I know. I got another weird finish, I guess I have some pretty interesting stats at the end of this, I'm hoping.
Hey, that's what we're going for. And another weird finish. Hey, you're still here, finish at the end. So that's all that matters.
Exactly. And I mean, jumping right into it, an inverted triangle, not something you really see every day, not something you see on every card. So is that like, I know we know that you've got the submission game down pat. We know you love your jiu-jitsu, but so is that something that just kind of presented itself, or was that something you saw on tape during camp that, you thought maybe I'll have an opportunity to throw this up?
I mean, if I could lie and sound all cocky, but no, did not see that opening. That's definitely like one of those disrespectful moves I love to like throw on people when like they're rolling hard. If you're trying to like embarrass a guy in the gym who's trying, maybe he's sparring a little too hard, so then you put him in an inverted triangle. It's a legit move, but it's not like one of my go-tos. If I really started working, using that move a lot the past like 3 years or so when I started working with OMalley, and he's really into that move. So did I think I was ever going to get one in the UFC? No, I didn't think that. People don't usually shoot on me for the most part, except for the fight where I lost. So I was really happy to, get to use that weird move.
There you go. Drillers make killers, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I guess coming into that fight, like you mentioned, so you had it's the first time in your career that you're coming into a fight off a loss, right? So the last fight doesn't go your way, of course. So what was it like for you, just in terms of mindset and preparation of just kind of how that changed things for you?
I actually felt really damn good after my loss. I always kind of felt like there's like a little sense of like a little bit of imposter syndrome, like, I've just gotten lucky. Doesn't matter that everyone I beat except for one was like undefeated and all these things. I'm like, I'm not good. People just make stupid mistakes, and I'm just like capitalizing on it. And like, no one's gonna like me after I lose. Maybe I just belong in school. So then after I got the loss out of the way, my wife called me like 10 minutes after. I'm getting checked out by the doctor, and she calls me and she's like, "How do you feel?" And I'm like, pretty good actually. Not too bad. I feel the same. We're going to be okay. So like, I actually went into this camp with a lot of like weight off my shoulders, because no one expects much of you, especially in this modern environment off of a loss. The hype train crashed, so to speak.
Right.
Just got a little derailed. Just a little derailed.
It was a delay. It was just a delay to
exactly.
The end goal. So preparation wise, I felt really, really good. I changed a lot of things up this camp, because when you never lose, you don't know how to like optimize it. And then I lost the fight, and I saw some holes I wanted to work on, and I focused this camp not so much on preparing for my opponent, but just in like filling in a lot of the holes of my game. And I felt good about this fight. I actually don't mind watching this fight. A lot of my fights I kind of cringe and I kind of avoid watching them for the most part, but this fight I'm pretty happy with it.
Well, I mean, if I must say so myself, I think that's just the mentality of a winner right there. I mean, I remember after the fight happened, me and Harry were texting, we're like, "Fuck!" And then we heard, and then we heard you talking. I think that night, and just like how you handled the loss, it was almost like infectious for anyone that was pulling for you or anyone watching. It also teaches a lot of people how to handle a loss like that. I mean, you could just tell just from hearing you speak after the fight, you're like, "He'll be fine. This is a little blimp on the radar. It happens. It's the sport. You're not going to win them all." And just how you handled it, I gotta give you props for that.
Thank you. I was a loser most of my life, so I got to this thing. So I was prepared to lose at some point, and it felt really good. Like, I entered into this game was like kind of like a self-discovery type journey, and you need to have lows, and I definitely do appreciate the highs a lot more, and I can't wait to win some more and maybe even lose more if I have to, but it's all about becoming better.
There you go. No, and that's the mindset, because I feel like you hear a lot of guys talk about how, I feel like there's basically two ways that fighters kind of handle losing that zero. And there's the way that you're talking about right now, where it's like, yeah, you know what? Like that's almost a weight lifted. You know what I mean? Like all that pressure is kind of gone. Like now I can focus on getting better. Or you kind of hear guys who it's like, well, you know what? Like, maybe this isn't for me. And that causes them to kind of rethink things and things like that. But no, I think people really underestimate the just the power of like that positive mindset and like how far that can really get you.
Mm-hmm.
But so I guess we're talking about positive mindset and things like that. So the other day you were posting about how you kind of went back and you watched a lot of your interviews and things like that, and you said that you made a dire mistake of reading the comments on those interviews. So I guess what inspired you to kind of go back and not only kind of listen to yourself talk, which who likes to listen to themselves talk? I
sure don't.
No, yeah, we're doing it here, and I still don't like doing it. But and then reading the comments is that's a bold choice. It's a bold decision.
Yeah, because when I do film, I'd watch my fights and I'd see it's 1,000 whatever comments, and I'm like, I wonder what people think. But then I'm just like, but don't read it. It's gonna get in my head. It's gonna psych me out. And then I was gonna read it. I'm like, after I beat Claudio, before my last fight, I was like, I'll read the comments after I win again. And then I lost. So I'm like, well, I'm not reading them now. Definitely not now. So after this fight I won, I let a month pass. And I went on Reddit and I went on YouTube. I went on everything to read the comments. And it's mostly positive. And then, it's like 50% positive, 30% this guy's really weird, but I like it. And those people, right. I dig that. Sounds like a fan.
That's a compliment.
And then there's 20% this guy is a sociopath, he's autistic, he's gay, he's a fraud, he's like John Jonesing us. And I'm like, whoa, they know a lot about me that I don't know yet. I didn't know I had all these feelings, So it was actually kind of, I love the YouTube psychoanalysis of some guy with Sakura as his profile picture. You have all the answers, man.
Right. A guy who you also know would never in a million years have the balls to step into the cage and actually fucking fight.
Yeah.
Also, just everyone's an expert now. It just doesn't matter what it is. If they're in the comment section, they're an expert. So, right. But yeah, no, I think, just even like you said, reading it, you see the stuff that people are saying, but it's always a genuine thing with you, how you even just how you responded to it. It's just yeah, well, I guess people are going to say this crazy shit, but guess what? I'm me and I'm going to be me. And that's why people love you. That's why it's authentic. And I know I'm really, I'm sucking up to you today, but I think it's admirable.
No, though, man, it's definitely true. It's true. It's very refreshing to just have somebody who is unapologetically, you are unapologetically you, which is, that's admirable. I think not a lot of people do that these days.
And you might be just the polar opposite of the co-main event. The main event this weekend in Sean Strickland.
Oh, my buddy Sean.
Yeah. There you go.
Opposites attract.
Oh, yeah.
I think you guys are very similar in that you're both unapologetically yourselves. Who that is just happens to be very, very different.
Just on the other ends of the spectrum.
I never used to understand why Strickland liked me. Whenever people would bully me, he would cuss him out, defend me. I'm like, oh, thank you, Strickland. He would be the little not shining knight, the barbarian pillager taking care of me. Nice little soy boy. And then talking to my manager, I'm like, Strickland's my buddy. I'm not quite sure why, but it works. He's like, 'cause Strickland's real. And he recognizes that you're real. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. If the worst thing about me is that's my buddy right there, not too bad.
Exactly. There you go. But yes, I guess just backtracking a little bit for a second, I guess, do you ever find it kind of difficult to just kind of shut out that outside noise? Like you said that, sometimes that those comments, they can get to you, they get in your head.
Yeah. When I was younger, I was very quiet, not very outgoing in high school. I didn't have a lot of friends. And then it wasn't probably until my senior year of high school where I realized sure, I wasn't outgoing and the class clown or anything, but a lot of people were I was kind to people. And I didn't know I was well liked until like I was put into like this pageant for my high school, like Mr. Mountain Lion, where all the popular kid. It's a glorified popularity contest, and I was like, I got nominated for it. Like, I'm like, this is a joke. This is gonna be stupid, and like, this would be embarrassing. But I did it because I, try to do difficult things and grow. But then like I like won every vote, and
Okay.
I like found out I was popular. But why did no one tell me I was well liked? I was just focusing on wrestling and, just doing my own thing. And then I found out people liked me. I was like, whoa, I didn't know I was likable. I didn't know I have those qualities that people like. And then it kind of gave me a lot of like motivation to like not be so scared to make people think I'm weird, because I'm already weird. If you know me, you're gonna know I'm weird. So may as well let your freak flag fly, and
Absolutely.
yeah, I graduated high school and I've been a weird kid ever since.
I got nominated for Homecoming King, but I don't think I got any votes. So
Oh.
I didn't get nominated for nothing.
but I'm still B. So
Exactly. But yeah, so I guess what does it feel like for you to kind of because I feel like at this point there's got to be, like you're talking about, a kid who's in high school who maybe doesn't have isn't super popular, doesn't have a ton of friends, kind of gets picked on a little bit, maybe is like a little introverted. Like, how does it feel for you to just be able to like make that statement about like the comments and everything like that, and just know that like, yeah, there's more than likely some guy out there who's looking up to you like, damn, you know what, like if this guy can do it and like stay true to himself and like what he likes, then like, maybe I can do that too.
Yeah, it's been very like a humbling like experience, getting more in the limelight and having people message me and like relate to me. And like I like find myself like moved to tears a lot when people like message me and like say like, hey, like I like what you're doing here. I like how you carry yourself. It like helps me feel comfortable with myself. And like those moments, it's something really special. I wasn't really like ever planning to live my life like in a way that would motivate people or inspire people. So when people like reach out to me and like tell me their stories and stuff, it's really something. I was expecting I might have to like wait for my kids or my grandkids to say that to me when I'm old. But it's like weird when I'm 26 and then people like say like, oh, dude, like you're a light or you inspire me. Or when I read some of those YouTube comments and like there'd be like a comment from somebody like I knew like 15 years ago and they'd like tell this very personal story. And I'm like, dang, that's a real story. Like it's not someone like making up some fake thing to say that they knew me. It's like, oh, I touched this person. And I wasn't prepared to ever like really experience something like that. And it's really nice. And, it makes it easy to want to be myself. And yeah, it's a lot of positive reinforcement. Even though there's some negative reinforcement, it's like, they can come say it to my face,
Yeah, there you go. And the good outweighs the bad at the end of the day.
Yes, it does.
There you go. So I guess we're in like a crazy age now with social media where like, yeah, like you said, like somebody can just like hit you up on Instagram and shoot you a DM and just like, tell you their story and tell you these things. People are just so much more like accessible and things like that. But you had a quick run in there with the Mr. Instagram lawman. What happened there? You got banned briefly for just a couple of shit posts?
I don't even know. So I post memes and they're PG. I put a little truck emoji over the F-bombs. I don't do any sexual explicit stuff. I'm like, okay, because I have kids watching. There are kids that follow me. And, so no warnings. And I'm still posting my memes, no vaccine memes. I'm like, okay, I'm squeaky clean. And then like
can't have that. Nope.
Like 3 hours before my fight, it's like, yo, man, let's gotta follow you. And this warning showed up. And I'm like, what? I'm on a social media fast the last day. Like, I'm not even doing anything. So I get the highlight reel finish, and like people couldn't find me on Instagram, and they kept getting the warning. And I was like, damn, I didn't get any. I lost followers after that fight. It's really quite stupid because what's the point of highlights if I can't use that? And I never got a warning or anything. So I guess Zuck doesn't like me. So Facebook's my enemy now, and Instagram auxiliary app.
It's gonna be the next Kona main, Monkey King versus social media.
Yeah.
I mean, Strickland got his thing deleted, but that made sense. Okay?
Sean posted like a fucking psychopath. So I don't think, Sean was posting like credible death threats. So it's a little different. A little different.
I think he said today he doesn't want to be called a psychopath, but a savage. I think because he's calculated was his exact
Fair.
words today. So
was Dexter Morgan, man, and Hannibal.
Gotcha. I need Sean Strickland fight week every week because he doesn't like to do media, but you put a microphone in front of the guy and just magic happens.
Oh no, man. His social anxiety is awesome. It's like you see some people spin out of control and it's just like, oh no, I feel so bad for them. And then you see it's like he's not even like they're not even giving him hard questions. He's like, you know what? I'm jumping off this cliff. And I'm like watching it and I'm like,
oh god.
There was 10 like you could get canceled for 10 of the things you said. You said them in 11 minutes. Like
he's got away with words. He's definitely got away with words. Are the stories of Sean being as big of a pest in the gym as he's made out to be true? So I've heard plenty of stories of Sean getting tossed out of gyms for sparring too hard or just being being generally a dickhead.
Well, I mean, whatever you've heard, it is much worse in real life. I have seen Strickland beat up 17-year-old kids like, hey, I want to spar you. And like, okay, let's go. Knuckle up and just beats the brakes off of them. And
oh my God.
That should be illegal. He's like, they signed a waiver. I'm like, okay, cool, fair enough. Not
fair.
And then I remember like the week before my Claudio fight, I'm like in some grappling. And then Sean's like, any of you pussies want to play a game? And I'm like, okay, shoot. Like, what's the game? And he's like, we box. And he's like, and the round doesn't end until one of us gets knocked down or one of us gets pushed into the fence. And I'm like, okay, sure, shoot. Okay. So it's like 5 days. Like, I'm like starting my weight cut. I'm like, whatever. I want to feel alive. And oh my God, like beat the brakes off of me. And like, it's like rocking me. I'm all like getting like juggled like in freaking Tekken or something. And then he's like, you're done, and pushing me into the fence. And I'm like, oh.
I would have just grabbed for that fence as quick as possible.
Yeah,
I have pride, though. He's my buddy. I'm like, you can't do this in front of my friends. This is my crew. It's nice.
It happened. It sounds like he showed some mercy at least, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, he's not a sociopath. He does show remorse,
Fair.
He's got a soft spot.
Glad to hear it at least. I remember he was in New York at some point and he was tweeting about trying to come on down to Law or something. And I think somebody at the gym was just like, no, it's not going to happen. It's like, listen, man, we don't really have a ton of middleweights. We don't have a ton of really big guys. And like, no, you're not going to come here and like beat the shit out of a bantamweight. Nope, not today.
He'll do it. He'll talk crap to you no matter what weight class you are. Like,
dude, I've seen he spars with Francis.
Oh yeah. I've seen him spar Francis and Dom.
Yeah, Dom a couple days ago.
Yeah, I miss him. Like, he's not syndicate anymore because the rep and the danger and all those things. But whenever I visit Couture, it feels like I'm back home. Like it's like at syndicate. There's like Roxanne on one side of the spectrum, and then there was Strickland, and it's like if these people could be comfortable in the same place, there's a place for you. Like. And now without like now everyone just seems super nice now. Everything's super tame without Sean. And not saying that it's not good. Maybe it's better. It probably is a lot better in the grand scheme of things for our health and CTE, all those things.
All those fun things.
Sometimes I miss him. Like that toxic girlfriend. You don't wish you were with them again, but you miss the times that were good. That's how Sean did.
Right. It's, if nothing else, it's exhilarating. It's always good for a curveball. Oh man, that's too good. It's good. Yeah, it's good to know at least that the reputation is not embellished.
Oh no.
I think that's probably the hardest I've left since we've started this podcast. So I'll take that. That was funny as shit.
There you go. I guess a very abrupt turning the corner here, but we're talking about social media stuff like that. So I saw you've been doing some book reviews on YouTube lately. So how did where did that idea kind of come about?
Like, I did a few videos like beginning of 2020 because on my Facebook, like when I'm reading like 100 books a year. I got post, oh yeah, book number 48, and they're like, oh, you should make reviews about this, and I'm like, I don't like the way my voice sounds. But then 2020 was very boring. Like there wasn't much to do, and I was like, well, I may as well like make those book review videos. And I was super self-conscious about them, so only people on my Facebook list like even knew about it. But then I was like filming it, and I'm like, well, I'm getting better at talking. Like my interviews don't cringe me out as much anymore. I'm like, I'll post about them. People ask me about books all the time, and now people ask me like, oh yeah, what's a book to recommend? And I'm like, that's a super hard question to answer because I don't know your taste. Like I don't know if what I read will offend you. So now I'm like, go to my YouTube channel, damn it. Like I'll tell you what.
Watch the review and you can decide.
That works. And what's the name of the channel there? We've got to make sure we get a good plug in.
I think it's just Jordan Leavitt. It might just be Jordan Leavitt.
There you go. I'll make sure we throw a link in the description here for sure. But no, it's always interesting to see people just talk about their interests and things like that. So I guess what are anything very good you're reading right now?
Okay, so I'm reading 2 main series right now, and they're both massive, and I shouldn't be reading them at the same time. So there's Wheel of Time, which just got the Amazon TV show, and I haven't been able to watch the TV show yet because it's the first season covers the first 2 books. I'm on book 2, about a quarter of the way through. And then there's this one series called Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and it was basically written, and this author's like, how do I make a series as unapproachable as possible? Because this author heard a quote, it's like every fantasy book is just is influenced by Tolkien, and he was offended. He took offense to that. So he wrote a book that is so complicated and convoluted, 3.3 billion words all the way through, and essentially it gives you no exposition. So there's no info dumps. It's just and then this character walked and there was flying elephants or flying whales. And then there's a velociraptor cavalry. And then it just doesn't explain it. No context. That's all you get. So I'm like, okay, pretty strange, but whatever. So the series takes place over tens of thousands of years across several continents. And some of the books don't even connect to each other until I finish it. And it's exhausting. And I'm not quite sure. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
I don't enjoy it. But someone told me it's if you read it like a textbook, which is very bad advice if you want to enjoy something. If you treat the last.
Yeah, I love to read pleasure. I love to treat pleasure reading like a very difficult to digest academic literature.
Yeah, it's like if you wanted to read Dark Souls. Okay, it's not. It's like the girlfriend, say you find the perfect woman, okay? And she checks all the boxes for you, but every 30 minutes she punches you in the nads, okay? No matter what. You go to sleep, 30 minutes in, boom, you scream, you go back to sleep, but everything else is perfect. That's how it's beautiful, but it's so painful and difficult.
Yeah, so it's is there ever a point where you just give up on it, or you're?
Oh, I did. Beginning of last year, I'm gonna read this series, all 10 of the books in 3 months, and I finished the first book, I finished 50% of it in 2 days, and I was like, I don't even like this. And I bought the 10-book set on Kindle, and I was like, wow. I look at my Kindle library, and I'm like, I'm a quitter. But it was super demoralizing when you've been reading something for 10 hours and it's 2% done. 2%. I'm 2% done.
Right. You can't let the book defeat you.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I'm ever going to enjoy it, but damn it, I'm going to finish it this year. Main focus.
Listen,
That's awesome.
I can respect the wherewithal. I can respect the commitment to I said I'm going to do something and I'm going to do it, even if I despise every second of it. That's the masculine urge to not ever admit that we are wrong or not enjoying something. If we commit to something, it's getting done.
Yeah, I told one person months ago that I'm going to read it, and damn it, I'm not going to be proven a liar.
That's right. Okay, you'd never let that happen.
gonna hold that to you too. Next time we talk, you bet your ass I'm gonna be asking about this thing.
That's true. Yes. Well, next time we have you on, we will absolutely be getting an update on the series that you hate.
Okay. And I'll be prepared. It's like, how are you? I'm on book 2.
Any other questions? I gotta get off.
There you go.
Oh, it's so fucking funny, man.
Oh man. Oh, great stuff as always, Jordan. Well, before we let you go, I feel like we would be remiss if we didn't ask. How soon are you hoping to get back in there?
Oh, I want to fight in May or June, man. Like they're already scheduling for May, and that's looking pretty, unlikely. But I have teammates that are 55, and they may get injured. So not hoping.
No, of course not.
But you're there. You're there.
I will make the best of any tragedy that happens at Syndicate. So maybe April or May, if my teammates are very unlucky. But if they have a good camp, hopefully you guys will see me in June.
Okay, awesome. Any ideas on opponent wise, or not even?
I don't even know, man. Like anyone around my rankings, like I don't care who I fight, as long as I prefer to win. Like as long as they're really this thing, perhaps the guy that Frivola, your guys' boy Frivola just beat, I'd like him. He's really tough. That'd be fun. Because Ulibarri fighting Patties. That's frustrating. Yeah, everyone I wanted to fight, they're scheduled. So I don't know what's going to happen. But
hey, you never know. It's a game of short notice, opportunities present themselves. Yeah, fucking Jimmy Frivola, Matt's brother, was on Twitter the other day, and he made some poll like, who do you want Matt to fight? And you were in it, and I was just like, hey, dude, shut up. I don't want two of my pals to fight each other. That would suck. I don't want that.
Matt's a tough fight. I don't want that fight. I don't get paid. I'll be honest with you. Like, no, I like Matt. Like, he had the roughest last year ever. He did, undefeated the UFC, loses to. I mean, Armand Saryukin shouldn't even count as a loss, man. That fight,
right? On 24 hours notice, did everything the promoter could have wanted. Like, had a terrible run of luck. It was awesome to see Matt get back in the winning column for sure.
Yeah. And then the one dude who beats my damn debut record for the division. So screw him. I'll fight him. Never mind. I'll fight that guy. But
Terrence McKinney.
Yeah, like rough year for Matt. No. Me and Matt could win a few more fights, and then we can fight. But I like him. I like to watch him win, and yeah.
Hell yeah, he's got a fun style, man. It's pressure. The way that Matt fights is definitely appealing for a fan, for sure, as is the way that you fight with that wrestling pressure that is throwing up those subs, for sure. But I guess going in, so that'll be the last fight on your contract then, right?
Yes, I actually may be renegotiating my contract before the fight, which would be preferable, but I'm down to fight to my contract, whatever they give me. But yeah, I'll be like less than 1% of fighters make it to the UFC, and less than half of those people finish their first contract. So I'm one of 1,000 now.
There you go.
There you go, man. That's that's an achievement for certain. I mean, we were talking to somebody about it, I remember. But yeah, I mean, if you have a fight in the UFC, you are de facto more accomplished than 99.999% of martial artists to ever do it. So it's like, yeah,
I know.
Yeah, you gotta look at it that way. But yes, so hopefully all that works out. Hopefully you get your extension hammered out. Well deserved. But Jordan, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate you as always. Anything you want to plug before we let you go?
No, my Instagram, Monkey King UFC. I do selfies and random posts, and sometimes I try to wax poetical, but whatever. I also do book reviews if you like reading, but you hate fighting. I don't know why you're on this podcast. On Jordan Leavitt on YouTube.
All right, Jordan, we appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure.
All right, nice talking to you guys.
You too.
Always, brother. Be good, man. Appreciate you.